The first four letters of the word form the foundation. A-T-O-N. Aton. Aton. Since this obelisk in front of us is representative of Egypt in the 18th dynasty.
Now he says representative of Egypt. So it represents Egypt. Now basically he's showing you right now, you see this design, they're showing you the Great Pyramid, which they're using for their demonstration, which is here. Without knowing it, they're showing you what I'm showing you. Now he's going into the 18th dynasty. Now the billboards that were put up, it says, "Come visit Tut's tomb," which was here. This is one of the places where the sign was up. But that's the sign. That's the sign itself, what they put up for bush gardens. So that's the 18th dynasty. So here we have the 18th dynasty as he's speaking about it. This is in 1996, November 1996 that it came out. But he mentions the 18th dynasty at the march, where he just said about the pregnancy, which I said here. Comes out of here, goes up from Oak Ridge, which goes back to Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was buried at Oak Ridge Cemetery. Going up into John Young Park, where it says related to Kennedy. Kennedy, between Abraham Lincoln and Kennedy, you're dealing with civil rights, black issues, people, African issues as far as human rights, justice, injustice, more than anything else. But let's go on.
A pharaoh named Akhenaten.
Akhenaten is King Tutankhamun's father. I knew that back in 1996. It came out later on because they said he didn't know who his father was. They didn't know who his father was. But it came out later on. But I knew this in 1996 when I saw this. And when I saw the way that the sun, this was the sun, and the way Americana came out of the top of the layout like a sun ray, and using the sign that was supposed to be King Tutankhamun, but it's Osiris, I knew that then that King Tutankhamun was Akhenaten's son.
Was the first man of this history period to destroy the pantheon of many gods and bring the people to the worship of one God, and that one God was symbolized by a sun disk with 19 rays coming out of that sun, with hands holding the Egyptian Ankh.
Now here he is, a Muslim minister, speaking about ancient Egypt, the gods in Egypt, the one God, Aton, the sun disk, all this together. Now, this is at the Million Man March. This went over probably 90% of the people, if not 99% of the people's head. It later came back to me as to being what I said. I was staring at the sun when the number 1555 came to me, looking at the sunset on July 29th, 1996, where I knew the sign had to go on 441, where I said I had rented the Tupperware Theater on 441 where the minister came to speak to the people in Orlando in May, on May 25th, 1996.
The cross of life, Aton, the name for the one God in ancient Egypt. Aton, the one God, 19 rays. Look at your scripture. A woman, remember the 9? Means somebody pregnant with an idea. But in this case, it's a woman pregnant with a male child destined to rule the nations with a rod of iron.
Now, he just said an idea, a woman pregnant with an idea, with a male child. Now here, this goes back to the story again. This goes back to the story that was told back in 1962. Now, he just said a woman. So here we go back again to the same layout. Now we go from the layout to, here's the woman. They just showed you the woman. Here is the connection between the Park Central, the estates, the skull, which is the brain, here, which is behind me right here, which is right there. This here, it's sitting over this, with her here, coming from the third eye. This is the mole, right here, showing you the pregnancy, what he's explaining. Like a puzzle. If you can get that. You may have put a puzzle together or put something how it puts together. How does that fit? That's not made up. This was a forensic operation. This is what's forensically put together. They put it together in order to show what they said was the queen who vanished from history. Said it was Nefertiti. Now, this is over 3,400 years ago. 1898 was 1998 when I reached Coleman, which is 2003 is when I got this picture from an article in USA Today, given to me by one of the guys who said, you have to have this. This is, you need to have this. So I kept it. I cut it out. I kept it with me. Now I come here, 2012, 2014, I take it out and I use the Google map overlay and I lay it right over the Central Park Central. Where you go to Central Park, you have the 18th dynasty, the obelisk, behind the museum on 5th Avenue, which I said is connected to the Universal Studios. Universal Studios in Orlando has the New York City setting on 5th Avenue, which 5th Avenue also next to it has Macy's, which Macy's is in the mall at Millennia. Again, going back to the march and listening to what he says.
God is standing over her womb, and this child will be like the day's sun, and he will say, I am the light of the world. Hands coming out of that sun.
Hands coming out of the sun. Americana coming out of the top, the pyramid, the layout. Just as I said, here. It may not mean anything to you. It may not mean to anybody else. But if you look at it, what it's saying, and what he's saying, it's right here. There's the mole, hands coming out of the sun. the woman, the pregnancy, showing you the spirit. Yeah, it's construction. It happened. People got paid and things like that. Superficially, people look at things as being nothing more than what they want it to be. A commercial product, a commercial venture. But this is what happened. Because I told them before, on my way to Coleman, that this was happening. This was bigger than them. It's bigger than you. Then we have the Holy Land, Trinity, broadcasting. That's where the Holy Land is. Trinity broadcasting. The Son, the Father, and the Holy Ghost. You don't have to make that up. It's right here. Showing you. I don't never spoke to the man, but I'm showing you the words. Nobody else at that march could have done this. Like I said, I was there from 1:30 in the morning, standing on my feet, standing up from 1:30 to 7:30. 7 o'clock, I waited till everybody left, then walked off. Because I was wondering if we were going to stay there for a day or two. I was ready to stay there for as long as it took. It was like a resurrection to me, my resurrection. The words were meant for me to hear. Nobody else can tell you about this and go back and then explain this by looking at the words, listening to the words. Nobody can do that. You find one person that can go in that march that was there, can come back and show you this, tell you that. I've heard all type of stuff of people saying, oh, nothing happened, and this, that. You know, what do you expect to happen and just at that time? People looked at it for whatever they got for themselves. Even when we put the organizing committee together, it was around politics and things like that. People were going and trying to get network to see who would get behind them and run for office and all that stuff. And as soon as all this stuff faded off, the less people were there. I was one of the last people that were stood around doing stuff, trying to get things going. Even to the point where just a few of us left. People were really trying to do something. I kept it going myself because I knew there was something to it. It was a special time for me. I ended up going to Egypt after seeing this layout. Knowing that the billboard I put up and the signs that were up, they were together. Showing you this. At the same time, speaking and listening to him. At the same time, 1996, when I was standing out in the yard and the spirit looking object came down, I'm with Miss Myra, who stayed in my house. Not long after that, she said she's pregnant. She got my child. I told her it was a son, that it was a boy. She carries him all the way through until he's born on April 30th, 1997. April 30th was the same time back in 1789, if that was the time, that the inauguration of George Washington. So, the inauguration of George Washington was on April 30th on Federal Hall, Wall Street, which is all here in Orlando. Washington Street, Mount Vernon, Livingston, which Robert Livingston, who inaugurated him, all here. Then showing you the mall. Now,
come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden. I'm going to give you rest, but I'm going to give you life. Because I am the resurrection and the life. And if you believe in me,
Now we said the sun of truth. The sun. Now where else would it make sense to mention the sun, the light of the world, the sun disk, Atan, than being here in Florida, Sunshine State? The Florida, the flowery, the lotus flower, the columns, which are behind the sign, the gold face of Osiris, that was put up in 1996. Where else could that have made sense? New York? Washington, D.C.? Washington State? What, Hawaii? California, maybe? But you're not hearing it from California. You're hearing it from Florida. Orlando, Florida. The Magic City. The Magic. I'm telling you this. I'm showing you the mall at Millennia. I'm showing you the layout, showing you the design and the pregnancy. I'm showing you the White House. I'm showing you the Pharaoh, saying Pharaoh, next to the Orion, the layout, the three houses, all that together.
With 19 rays, meaning he's pregnant with God's Spirit, God's life, God's wisdom. Abraham Lincoln's statue, 19 feet high, 19 feet wide. Jefferson, 19 feet high, 16, and the third president, 19, standing on the steps of the Capitol in the light of the sun, offering life to a people who are dead. Yes, sir. Black man, the Aton, represents the one God. In the Quran, Muhammad is called a light-giving sun. So if you look at the Aton, add an E to it, and separate the A from the next four letters, and you get the word A-tone.
Now, what he's basically saying, if he knows it or not, that the black people of color, are the children of the sun. The sun. The sun is not just a ball of fire in the sky that's keeping the earth warm and giving you everything that you need as far as your life supporting. It's not there just for that. The sun is an actual being. It's alive. You call the earth alive, Mother Earth. The sun is alive also. It's not there to be a ball of fire to keep you warm and to do your bidding for laying out in the sun and just basically keeping you here alive. And then ignoring it as it doesn't mean anything other than just to sit up in the sky or in the universe, heavens. People don't want to admit it. But you can never be the King of Kings and not have the sun behind you. You can talk all that stuff you want about being the King of Kings, coming out of there or coming out. Nowhere on this planet has there been the King of Kings and they have not had something connection to the sun. Nowhere. So you can come up and create a story and make it up and say this is what it is. Nowhere has it ever happened. Takes the sun. The sun is the one that gives you all that is. That's the one that gives you the blessing of what you have now. You can make up any other type of belief system you want. Take the sun away, you got nothing. You'll be in the dark. Doing what? Praying for some damn light. Praying for some warmth. Praying for something to eat because nothing to grow. But now because you have it, you can make up all other type of stuff that you believe is this and that and all that. But you got something sitting right there in front of your face, and you ignore it like it doesn't exist. And you wouldn't even exist without it.
Tone means sound. And A, the first letter of the alphabet. And the first letter of the numerical system is 1. So A equals 1. So A, sound, means